Let's begin drawing the graveyard gate. I have drawn a rough pencil sketch. As you can see here, this rough sketch is drawn with very light pencil strokes. I am going to use Stillman and Bin Nova Beach paper 7 by 11 inch to draw this sketch. Let's have a look at the structure of this picture first. First, let's divide this picture into two equal halves. The tops of the two banisters are approximately halfway up. With this banister being slightly higher than this banister. The two gates are slightly open, that is why they are facing inward, and the lines for these gates are not exactly horizontal. We are going to keep the foliage in the background very subtle, so we are not going to ink it. We will directly paint it using watercolors. The only part where we will use the pen and ink are these overlapping branches, the gate and the banisters. We will also do a little inking on the foliage around the banisters. Let's begin the inking process. I am going to use a fluid fountain pen for the line drawing. The nib of the fluid fountain pen can be used from both sides. One side can be used to draw fine lines, while one side can be used to draw thick lines. If you do not have a fluid fountain pen, you can use multiple pens to achieve the same effect. You may use a ballpoint pen or a technical pen or a gel pen. Just make sure that the ink in the pen that you are using is waterproof. This is necessary because we are going to paint with watercolors over these lines. When beginning, keep the lines very subtle and thin. I sometimes even start drawing with dotted lines. When I start drawing with thin dotted lines, it's easier to correct any mistakes that happen in the initial phase. Don't try to draw exact straight lines. These banisters are made up of rough stones. These lines will never be straight. If you use a scale to draw straight lines, they will look quite artificial. So I never recommend to use a scale to draw straight lines. Let's draw some overlapping foliage at the base of this right hand side banister. In a few moments, I will speed up the video so that you don't get bored to death watching me draw. As we draw the overlapping elements, you can clearly see the advantage of drawing broken lines earlier in the drawing. A rule of thumb is to draw the random lines like that of the foliage first and then draw the straight lines. Let's draw the foreground branches. These branches act as a framing device for the whole picture, and their details are not important, just their silhouette. Let's start with the left hand banister now. We will draw it in a similar fashion to the right hand banister. First we will draw all the overlapping foliage, random lines, followed by the straight lines and the stonework. Let's start drawing the outline for the iron gate. These iron gates are slightly ajar and there is a gap between these two gates. The lower end of these gates is overlapped by blades of grass and foliage. Keep this in mind while drawing these gates. Before completing the details of the gate, particularly its lowest edge, we need to draw the overlapping foliage. You can see a piece of white paper below my right hand. There is a reason I am holding this piece of paper between my hand and the paper. When we draw on a paper using a fountain pen ink, the ink does not dry immediately. If your hand accidentally touches this not so dry ink on the paper, it creates smudge marks. And you don't want that, believe me. These cemetery gates have some intricate design work on them, but there is no necessity to replicate it exactly as it is. Just draw an approximation of what you see. While drawing these vertical bars at the lowest side of the gate, be mindful of the fact that these bars will be overlapped by the foliage and blades of grass from below. Now let's draw some random foliage, grass and shrubs in the foreground. Now I will start adding the darkest shadows to the sketch. I am using a brush pen to add these darkest shadows. If you do not have a brush pen, you can achieve the same result using a fat tip tactical pen or a ballpoint pen, or simply using ink with brushes. While drawing the darkest values, I use hatching strokes to create some values which are not as dark as the darkest value, but somewhere in between. Now that our sketch is ready, we will start coloring. But before starting coloring, make sure that the sketch is absolutely dry. Even though the ink that we have used is waterproof, it is waterproof only once it is completely dry. If we start painting before that, there is a danger of smudging. I always start with a thin wash, not worrying too much about keeping the colors within the line. Let's splash some color. Splashing or spattering color in this way is a very good method for creating the random patterns that the foliage demands. Let's paint the background foliage layer. For this layer, I have used olive green, while for the foreground foliage layer, I have used viridian green. I have also kept the intensity of the color different for the foreground and background foliage. For painting the banisters, we will use various shades of brown. Now create some variation in the background foliage. You can do this by painting a few layers with more intensity and saturation of color. add one more layer of color to the background foliage. Paint the foreground branches and leaves as silhouette. As we already said, these branches act as a framing device for the whole picture, and their details are not important. In fact, less details are better. The main subject of our painting are the banisters and the gates, and we want to draw the viewer's attention to these main subjects, not the foreground branches. Here I am using some poster white to create some texture on these banisters. Here the poster white is being used to create stark highlights. Now our painting is almost done, but some of the line work is obscured because of the watercolor. We need to revive that line work. I am using a black ballpoint pen to redraw over those lines which got obscured. In my experience, Ballpoint pen works better than a fountain pen or technical pens over the watercolor. And of course, brush pen works brilliantly for thicker lines. Now our coloring work and line work is almost done. We will use a white ballpoint pen to add some exotic highlights to the sketch. Adding white lines will really pop the line work. Add some finishing touches using poster white color and white ballpoint pen, and we are done. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. If you want to learn more about such techniques, refer to my book Pen, Ink and Watercolor Sketching on Toned Paper. This book is available in several languages on all ebook stores like Apple, Amazon, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, Kobo and many more. It's also available in full color print format. Apart from the basics of sketching and color theory, this book contains 10 step-by-step demonstrations on painting on toned paper, including beige, grey and black paper. The link for this book is given in the description below. Happy sketching!